89.7 Power FM, Eddie in studio, and it is my pleasure to have on the phone Kevin from Disciple. Brother, it is so good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you too, man. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but you guys just keep on chugging, keep on going on, and we're really excited about you guys coming to Louisville with the City Rockfest tour. So was this your brainchild or somebody in your management? Because this is a power-packed lineup, brother.
I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. I mean, it was one of those things that they came together, and I literally couldn't believe that we made it happen. Joseph from Seventh Day Slumber called me and was asking, if we'd like to do something together. I said sure, and so it's just us and him. And he said, and I didn't even know about Nine Lashes, so I got a phone call saying Nine Lashes was going to come, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Then I got another phone call. I was like, okay, we got Decipher Down coming. I was like, okay, I don't know how you pulled that off, because those guys, I mean, they played like one show last year or whatever, and I'm really good friends with them, and they just were basically enjoying life after the band, basically. So pulling them away from home, I knew it was going to be difficult, but he did it. So and they're going to be on our bus riding with us, and so I'm very excited to hang out with my friends and Decipher Down and be a little fan on the front row, going to watch them play. So it's going to be exciting.
Hey, talking about being a fan, I remember many years ago when they first in the basketball, they first let the NBA players play in the Olympics. They had something they called the Dream Team, and the other teams that they were playing against were being fans more than opposition. They wanted to take pictures and get autographs and stuff like that.
Right.
The current Disciple, before we went on the air, I was saying, man, it's kind of like a dream team of rock and roll, because you got a guy that was I Am Empire, one that was in Philmont, one that was after Edmund, and one from High Flight Society. So, man, what's up with the new band? How did that all happen?
Yeah, it's just God is all I can say, man. He's been so good and so faithful to us, and really just bringing people into our lives to fulfill that and make it happen. I mean, it's a really long story. I guess I'll try to make it as short as possible, but Disciples basically went through three versions. The first version was all the original members. The second version was the guys that were involved in Horseshoes and Hand Grenades and the Oh God Save Us All album. And one by one, they everybody's built and wired differently, and had other dreams and aspirations they wanted to pursue. And the second version of Disciple, they all kind of seem to get that itch to go and do something else all at the same time. So it worked out to where we basically could start over all at the same time, which was really good in a way. So everybody in the third version of Disciple really has this camaraderie and family friendship with each other. I've never quite experienced anything like it. I mean, these group of guys, on our off days, we're looking for what we can do to hang out together and spend time together. And Jason was the lead singer for High Flight Society and a rhythm guitar player. And I basically called him, and he's a far better singer than I am. And I basically called him and I was like, look, I know you're not doing anything right now, and we obviously don't need a lead singer because I'm it. I was like, but I'd really love to have a guy in my band who can sing better than me and sing higher than me, in our band. And I said, all we have open right now is bass player position. I said, can you play bass? And he said, no. And I said, well, can you learn? And he said, sure. So, it was just conversations like that, man, and getting to meet Josiah, getting to meet Andrew and Joey. There's all relationships of, people, met out on the road. And, it's really, really good guys, and them having the experience that they had, in their previous bands just kind of allows them to bring some professionalism, to our band. And it's really been great, man. We've been able, what's another thing that's been awesome is the music we've been able to write together, because these guys have so much experience under their belt. It's not just me and one other guy writing songs this time. It's the entire band, and it makes the songwriting process go, a lot better, because there's so many great ideas involved.
Okay, just for you personally, let me ask this, and this, I guess, maybe putting you on the spot a little bit, but when you talk about Christian rock nowadays, back in the day, people used to say, "Oh, Petra, or Striper, or Resband, or whatever." But now, and because me being in the industry like this, when you mention Christian rock, Disciple is like right up there at the top, if not the top, man. And how does that make you feel that you're in the band, man?
I'm quite honored. All those bands you just mentioned are, heroes of mine. And I was very fortunate when I was 12 years old to have a youth pastor, hand me a White Cross tape.
Yeah.
I'm that old. And then it was a Petra, This Means War tape after that. And I was floored because back then in the late 80s, Christian rock music was not Christian. Most churches were like, "Hey, this is evil. This is bad. This is like wolves in sheep's clothing here. You can't look like the world and smell like the world and be of God." And that was the argument, And I was like, "Yeah, but this message is really straightforward and about Jesus, and it's really great." And I really bought in and wrapped my mind around it. And I remember going to see White Cross and see Petra in the late 80s and early 90s, and I remember one particular Petra concert where like 600 people came forward to give their life to Jesus Christ that night, and I was like, I knew that's what God was calling me to do, not just be in music and not just play rock music, and not what people would consider a Christian rock band today, but to be a ministry band, a band that was going to be more than just the music, a band that was going to be about the gospel of Jesus Christ. And for me, that's what it is. If we're just up there playing music and just talking about Jesus, that's not enough for me to leave my family, 7 or 8 months out of the year. It's got to be about changing lives and bringing people, closer to Him and seeing people who, once were lost, but now they know Jesus. So that's what it's about for us.
Amen, brother. Well, 20, 30 years from now, I think people are going to say, "Oh, remember Disciple? Yeah, Disciple, that was the band." So I think right in there with Petra or Greg Norman or whatever people used to listen to, man.
Yeah,
it's just
that's cool, man. Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment.
Radical is the song we're playing from Attack. So we got to talk about that, and we'll let you go, Kevin.
Please.
But, there's a bridge in there that just grabbed me, man. It grabs me because it's like we're rocking out, and all of a sudden it's like I'm in a worship session. Because it talks about, not just my mouth, my hands sing the glory of God or whatever, something like that. So, man, when you were writing that, what was the process? What was going through your mind or life at that time? Because that's just, if I can, I hate to use church words, but, man, it's very anointed.
Thank you. Well, I was a worship pastor for 9 years, and so, and quite frankly, worship music is probably, if not my favorite, it's like tied. So I listen to a lot of worship music. I've in my lifetime performed a lot of worship music. So I'd like to think that it's kind of part of my DNA. And in Disciple, if you were to go back and listen to a lot of our earlier stuff, you'll see a lot of that show up because I actually was a worship pastor during most of the early albums, all the way up until like 2003, I think, and so you'll see a lot of that just kind of come out because that was my life. That's what I was doing. So somebody write like this big rocking song, and I'd just be writing worship lyrics to it because it's just me, who I am. And when we wrote this song, Radical, the song I really been wanting to write for many years and just couldn't figure out how I wanted to say it. Is definitely a song I feel like hasn't been written in a while. It's going to blow your mind, but like the song Jesus Freak is almost like 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It blows your mind when you think that the song Jesus Freak is that old. And I was just thinking, this generation doesn't have a song like that says, "Hey, I realize that everybody else is fired up about whatever they want to talk about, but this is my life. I'm going to follow Jesus. I don't care if somebody likes it or if they hate it or if they make fun of me or if, they belittle me. or if they, whatever they want to throw at me for it, I don't care. I'm going to stand for him if I'm the only one doing it. It's like, I wanted to write a song like that, especially for those kids out there, that could be an anthem to say, listen, if the rest of the world is going the other way, I'm not going to go with them. I'm going to follow Jesus no matter what. And when you're saying something like that, and you're just kind of making that statement, it almost just seems natural that worship would just naturally become part of that. It's like, I don't want my life to just be, normal. What normal is not good enough. I don't want to be normal. I want to be so much more than that. I don't want to be ordinary. I want to be extraordinary. And it just seems so just a natural thing to just worship in this prayer and say, God, this is not just something I want to say with my mouth. I want my actual hands and my feet to live out the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't want this to just be something that I sing in a song, but I want my hands to sing and praise you. I want my heart to praise you. I want my life literally to sing out your glory. And so that's kind of, that bridge that came out, and it's just very, very worshipful. And I told the guys as we were writing it, I was like, this is going to be weird. We're going to throw this little worship moment in the middle of this rock song. And we knew it was different. We knew it was unique, and everybody was like, "But it works. It just works for some reason." You would, if you're just talking to somebody about it, you think that can't work. But then when you hear it, it does, and it is. We all feel like it's that moment. We've played it 1,000 times already, but it still moves us. Each time. We still get moved by it, and that's exactly what we were going for. So that's how it came about.
Kevin, that's an awesome answer, brother. Thank you so much. And Kevin, we're going to go ahead and play that song, Radical.
Oh, man, thank you. Hey, thanks for playing our music for so many years, man. You guys are a huge blessing to us.